Hello, my friends. I am so excited for my first cooking live of 2025. I'm just going live here on Instagram. But I am so excited to be back. We had a very beautiful holiday season. My mom was here for a whole month. I feel like we should have gone live while she was here, but we were just so busy with the kids being home and everything. And we live in Maryland, just outside of DC, and they're not used to getting a lot of snow here. So I'm from Toronto, so obviously I'm used to snow. But here, whenever there's even an announcement that there's going to be snow, they shut down school. So my kids had they were off for 2 weeks, and then the week they were supposed to start back in school, they had another 3 snow days back to back. So they were home. We had a great time, but it was just it was the perfect time to take a break from doing all the things that were keeping me busy. So Minnie is in the comments today. She's not joining us, so say hi. We got lots of love from you guys over the past couple of months. A lot of people have reached out and saying you guys love our Wednesday cooking lives. So she will join me from time to time, and sometimes I'll just do them by myself. But I'm just so glad that this is something that's been helpful. So today I will I'll introduce myself a little bit. For those of you guys that are new around here, I will tell you what we do on these weekly lives, what we're cooking today, and I want to hear from you guys too. So if you are here, please share where you're coming from, and I'd love to know one goal that you have for this year when it comes to your health, your vitality, anything like that. And then I'd also love to share with you something very special that I have coming up next month. It's a free health challenge, so I'll talk about that. And then I'll also share my Christmas gift that I got, which honestly has just been so amazing in the kitchen. So for those of you that are new, my name is Dr. Simran. I am a triple board certified doctor. So I did my training in internal medicine, hospice and palliative care, worked in the hospital for 10 years caring for people at the end of life, and then most recently got board certified in lifestyle medicine, became a health and wellness coach, and just so passionate about plant-based cooking and teaching people how easy it is to get more plants on your plate. And that all starts in the kitchen. So that's how this whole weekly series came about. And my story really, with lifestyle medicine, all these things are not things that I learned in medical school. It really started when I became the patient, right? And so if you're new here, you can scroll through my page, you'll hear about my story, but essentially I empowered myself. There's so much knowledge, so much science out there to support lifestyle as medicine, to support food as medicine. And so when I learned that, I applied it to my own life and really helped me optimize my health. And for me, because I'm a genetic mutation carrier, helped me really reduce my risk of cancer down the road, or at least I'm doing everything that's in my control, right? Because that's all we can really do. But really, it's such empowering information, especially today. We're living in a world where people are sicker than ever. They're, I was just talking to a friend this morning, a friend of a friend's who's 45 years old and just had a massive heart attack and died. And people are surprised when I tell them that, and maybe you don't know this, that the first symptom of heart disease in 50% of cases is sudden cardiac death. That is mind-blowing. So that means before you even have a chance to realize that you have heart disease, in 50% of cases, the first symptom is death. So this information of how to use food as medicine, movement as medicine, sleep as medicine, and all the things that are in our control every single day, is so powerful, because every little thing makes a difference. Every little thing is an investment in your quality of life in 6 weeks from now, 6 months from now, 6 years from now, and when you're 60 years old, right? So this stuff matters, and it's just not stuff that we learn about. And in the society that we live in today, our modern lifestyles make it much easier to be unhealthy than healthy. And that was part of my mission of wanting to leave palliative care, where I was caring for dying people who were getting younger and younger, sicker and sicker, was to come out here and share this knowledge on lifestyles medicine, on the little everyday things that we can do, and then the mindset piece too. So in a nutshell, that's me. I could go on forever and ever, but let's get to cooking. So let me show you first this Christmas gift. Did I buy it for myself? Yes, I did. But it was like, you know, if my husband, honestly, if my husband went and bought me a gift, he would go to like the Hallmark store and buy something that's cute, but that I would never use. So now usually I just buy gifts myself. I pack it and I say it's from, you know, Frank and the kids. So that's just what works. That's just what works, right? Does anyone else do that? Please tell me I'm not alone, right? Tell me I'm not alone. I'm pretty sure I'm not. But anyways, this thing is really cool. So what I bought is basically, I don't know if you guys have a favorite immersion blender, but I do, and it's the Vitamix one. So I am not affiliated with Vitamix, or this is not sponsored by Vitamix. I just love sharing all my favorite kitchen tools and gadgets with you. So Vitamix has their immersion blender, which is extremely powerful. It's great for like soups and mousses and like anything that you want to just like, you know, put it in a pot and blend, or even to like thicken soups. Maybe that you don't want to like a pureed soup, maybe you just want to thicken it, or a stew. So I love this. It's super powerful. And then what I found out is it actually has attachments. So it has a whisk attachment, so for when you're baking. And then it also has a mini chopper. This thing is so powerful. So powerful. I don't have the best camera set up today, but let me show you. So I didn't chop my onion, but I have one onion, right, for the lentil soup we're going to make. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it in four, right? Because I heard this at a party the other day I was at, and, you know, everyone was kind of sitting around the table and they were talking about how, you know, why they don't cook so much. And it was around like, you know, shopping and meal prepping and chopping and actually making the meal and then cleaning. Like in the kitchen, it's all about working smarter, not harder. And that's what I have learned over my 10-year journey in the kitchen. Someone was surprised to hear the other day that I, you know, before I found out about my genetic mutation 10 years ago, I actually didn't know how to cook. I burnt rice every single time. I was that med student calling my mom saying, please tell me how to make, you know, dal. Like dal is my Indian lentils, right? But like I would always burn it. So I didn't know how to cook. It was a skill that I learned over many, many years. And one of the things I learned about making it work, especially in our busy lifestyles where two parents are working and you have kids and all the things, is you got to work smarter and not harder. And so part of that means, you know, learning how to meal prep efficiently, learning how to batch cook, finding tools that make your life easier. You know, this is key. Doomy, quiet. Okay, so here we go. So you see that, right? This literally took me 1 second to just chop it in four. And because you can't really see my setup here, what I'm going to do is just show you how this works. Okay, this is so cool, guys. This is so cool. And then you have like different speeds. So here we go. Great. Watch how quickly this onion gets chopped. And remember, like, if you are going to double this recipe, which I'm not doing today, you could put 2 onions. If you, because then if you double the recipe, then you could put some in a container and throw it in the freezer. And hey, you have a meal for next week, right? So work harder, not smarter. Here you go. Watch this. Like, how cool is that? I feel like Vanna White. I'm not Vanna White. But for real, like, how cool is that, right? So it's very awesome when you are efficient in the kitchen. Toomey, quiet, buddy. And then actually I forgot to add my garlic. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna give me a second. So I'm gonna put him in his room. So bring back Toomey. So that is our 130-pound Greater Swiss Mountain Dog, who is essentially our doorbell. So there was someone dropping off a package, so he started barking, and you can still hear him because now he's not happy that I put him in his room. Okay, so because I just added the garlic in there, I'm just gonna do this one more time so I can mince up the garlic too. So yeah, I mean, you can use this to meal prep, right? Super easy, but you could also use this to make a salsa. You could use this to make anything. Like, it's a quick dessert. Like, this would be super easy to make, like a chocolate mousse with tofu or something, with silken tofu if you were looking for a quick dessert. So now you have this, right? So I have my Instant Pot right here, and I'm just gonna turn it on. And that's it. So then we have our onions ready to saute, which literally took 10 seconds. And the rest of this recipe is super simple. So if you want the recipe, if you want the link to this, DM me and maybe like Blender or whatever, and I will send you the link. And then if you want the recipe to this, just comment lentil on this post after I post it. Not right now. After I post it, once this is over, comment lentil and I will send you this recipe. It's super easy and it's super, super tasty. Even my kids love it. So what we're gonna do here is we're just going to saute the onions. And ideally, so here's a cooking hack. So when you chop onions and garlic, these are from the allium family, and they're very potent. Like, they've got great anti-cancer properties, and great for your heart health. So you want to eat lots of onion and garlic, but to activate the components that are actually beneficial for us, you want to chop the onion and garlic, and let it sit for 15 to 20 minutes. The reason I didn't do that, I normally do, but the reason I didn't do that is because I wanted to show you guys this. So it's fine. I'm just going to put this in here. So when you're cooking with the aromatics, you just saute them. So I just put a little bit of water in here. I'm going to saute with a little bit of water. I need a better cooking setup. So I think I'm going to look into that so you can see what I'm doing and see me at the same time. So I'm going to work on that. Minnie says she loves salsa. I know. I love salsa too. And you make the best, what do you call it? Like the tomato salsa. Your tomato salsa is so good. So anyways, I'm going to saute the onion and garlic here. And this is super simple recipe. Okay. So we're literally going to put onion and garlic. And then the spices we're going to use are just herbs. So you can use fresh herbs or dried herbs. So I have basil, I have oregano. I'm going to put a bay leaf in there. It does call for some celery. I don't have any, so it's okay. I'm just going to put extra carrots. And then you're going to use a can of diced tomato. I'm using fire roasted diced tomatoes. And then you can use lentils. So there are so many types of lentils. You decide which ones you want, really. I'm just using green lentils today, but this could work with red lentils. I think the recipe says red lentils. You could use French lentils. Like, there's so many lentils. So use whichever ones you want and then change it up. That's the benefit, I think, and lentils are so good. So let's talk about the benefits. I would say the two greatest benefits you're going to get with lentils, or three, are, they're great for gut health, which in turn is great for metabolic health, which in turn is great for heart health. It's all linked, right? And I could also say, for cancer risk reduction and for brain health. I mean, they're just great all around. And one of the biggest reasons is that, the reason I love them is because you can honestly add them to anything. So I had shared in my stories the vegan bolognese that we had earlier this week. Guess what I added in there? Lentils. And my kids had no idea. So they have a very neutral taste, and you can add them to anything. And a cup of lentils will give you depending on what lentils you're using, will give you anywhere from like 15 to 20 grams of a cup of cooked lentils, 15 to 20 grams of protein. So, great source of protein. And guess what? Fiber, right? That's really where you get the biggest bang for your buck with plant-based foods, is you get fiber. And that's the one thing, in a society where everyone is so focused on protein, with plant foods, you get fiber. And fiber is 110% necessary for our gut bacteria. And in fact, we actually have more, we're more microbe than we are human. And so I always say, if you keep your gut bugs happy, they will keep you healthy. Okay. So lentils are a great source of fiber. So 1 cup of cooked lentils will give you around, will give you anywhere from like 10 to 15 grams of fiber. So there's different types of fiber, which we won't get into, but essentially, fiber does a whole bunch of things. So fiber feeds the good bacteria in your gut, which then will produce lots of, healthy compounds to help optimize your metabolic health, keep the inflammation down. It helps to keep your bowels regular, so you're not constipated. It helps to keep you full and satiated so that you're not overeating. So there's a lot of benefits to eating lentils. So I just finished sauteing it, and what I'm gonna do, I'm making in the Instant Pot. I make everything in the Instant Pot because it just makes life easy. But what I'm gonna do is just add my herbs in here. So we got 2 tablespoons of basil. We have, 2 tablespoons of oregano. And if it gets dry, you can just add, if you cook with oil, but I'm just cooking with water. You can just add a little bit of water, and then I'm going to add, 3 basil leaves. Okay. And then what we're going to do is add a little bit of salt. Woo! Oh gosh, that was not good. You saw that. Okay, that's fine. And we're going to add a little bit of, Minnie said we can make eggplant salsa. Yes, let's do eggplant salsa. Lily, what are you cooking today? I love lentils, so versatile. Yes, I am cooking a hearty lentil soup. So I am in Maryland, just out of DC, and it is freezing here, and I love soups in the winter time. So I'm making just a simple lentil soup. And now this is going to be super easy. So I have everything in here sauteing, and I'm essentially going to I'm using just simple green lentils, which I soaked in water just before. So let me just drain them. If you guys have any questions or anything else you want to say, just comment. I'm in Leesburg, Virginia. Hey, we're neighbors. You're not so far. You're not so far from me. Minnie says, always use your hand like your mother. No, because then I can't measure it. That's why I can't ask you for recipes, because you're like, do a pinch of this, a pinch of that. But what does that even mean? Like half a teaspoon, a teaspoon, 2 teaspoons. It's like she puts it in here and then she just like does that. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. But that is the sign of like a true chef. And Minnie is a true chef. She she just left our house after being here for a whole month, and we miss her. Like, she just creates magic in the kitchen. Like, she doesn't even think about it. She just like makes good food, and everyone's like, where did that come from? How did you do that? Anyways, crazy. So anyways, this is it. So literally in like 10 minutes, I have prepped this meal, which is going to be dinner, and there's going to be enough for tomorrow. So it could be leftover lunch. You can freeze some so you can take it out of the freezer for next week. And that's it, right? I need broth. So I'm just gonna add broth in here, and then I'm gonna put it for 10 minutes in the Instant Pot, and it'll be ready. And then once it's done, we're just going to add some balsamic vinegar, and then you can adjust the salt based on how you like it. But that's it. Like, that's literally how simple it is. And this is gonna be a filling meal that is rich with all sorts of micronutrients like fiber, like vitamins, like minerals, no cholesterol. No, yeah, I did add salt, so if you have high blood pressure, I would be a little, or heart disease or anything like that, I would be a little bit careful with the added salt. But, if you don't, otherwise, added salt is actually okay. No problem. So this is where we're at. So we're going to turn this off, and I'm just going to set this for 10 minutes. So that's it, guys. That's it. I didn't see if I make my own veggie stock and paste. Love it. Yes, it is so good if you're able to make your own. It's such a great idea. And that's another thing you can do is like get an ice tray and take this the stock you make and freeze it in ice cubes. So that's like super easy way to get the homemade broth when you need it. My mom, so for Indian food, we have like masala, which is like the base of every Indian curry, which is made out of tomatoes, onions, garlic, and ginger. And what my mom does is she makes a whole bunch while she's here. And then I have these 1 cup ice cube trays. And she basically, freezes 1 cup masala portions for me. So it makes life really easy. So like I said at the beginning, work smarter, not harder. And cooking will actually be something that you can enjoy and feel really proud of, because, you're teaching your children really important lifestyle habits that they will then carry on into adulthood. And this is more important than ever before, because we are living in a time where children are sicker than ever before. Like, pediatricians are having to treat high blood pressure and cholesterol and diabetes in children as young as 11, 12, 13 years old, right? And a lot of this has to do with the obesity crisis and 93% of the population being metabolically unhealthy and insulin resistant. And all of this comes down to our modern lifestyles, the way that we're eating, mostly ultra processed foods. We're not cooking at home. We're not moving. We're sitting in front of screens. Our sleep is really bad. And I'm certainly not saying I'm perfect, but these are all things that really woke me up when I became board certified in lifestyle medicine, and I started learning all of these things and the impact that they have on our risk of chronic diseases like heart disease and diabetes and stroke and kidney disease. Because the reality is, like, people don't just wake up one day with these diseases. It's like a progression. You start here, right, with a little bit of extra weight, a little bit of high cholesterol, a little bit of blood pressure, a little bit of blood sugar, dysregulation, insulin resistance. And then over time, you'll develop symptoms and, all of that. And it's not until, the numbers on your blood work start to get in the red, or you start to feel so bad that your doctor is going to do anything. Like, because we live in a reactive, healthcare system. That's why we call it a sick care system. That's why I kind of had to feel like I had to get out, because there's not enough doctors really focusing on proactive measures. And it's not their fault, because it's partly the system that we work in that makes it so hard to be proactive. One, we're not taught. And number two, it's just with the way that, corporate medicine is designed, it's really hard to, give patients the time they need and educate them on, and empower them on all the things that will make a huge difference in reducing their risk of disease. So I could talk about this forever, but I just, my mom is giving my mother-in-law love. So I have two people in my life, three, who are my biggest fans: my mom, my mother-in-law, and my husband. And they love all my posts. They join my lives. And I love them so much. So they're talking to each other in the comments. It is so cute. So thank you guys for being here. And one thing I want to tell you about is my challenge that I'm hosting next month. It is going to be so much fun. It's going to be packed with value. The reason I'm hosting this challenge is because in January, a lot of people set goals, and most of those goals are resolutions, and most of those goals are radical. It's like one day we're not exercising at all, the next day, we're setting a goal to exercise 4 days a week at the gym for an hour at a time. Like, that is a radical goal, and the reality is majority of these goals fail and fall off by the end of January. That's what the statistic is. And so that's why I chose February for this health challenge, to give people a place to go for accountability, for support, for evidence-based tools and knowledge on little everyday habits that we can do that, if you did consistently over time, would create, the energy and the health and the vitality that most of us want to have a good quality of life, right? So I'm going to have a challenge calendar. Every day I will share little micro habits. I've designed an ebook. So you're going to get that for free. And then I'll be going live in our private group once a week for 30 minutes for a little educational series, but then also Q&A if you have any questions. I would be happy to guide you. Obviously, none of it's medical advice, but I would love to be your guide and to empower you and share all the knowledge that I've learned in the world of lifestyle medicine and mindset and coaching and all of that. So that's my goal. You're going to learn about fasting. You're going to learn about insulin resistance and metabolic health. You're going to learn about habit stacking and setting micro goals. So there's a lot of value here, and all of that's going to be free. I'm pairing this along with the system that I absolutely love, that has done wonders, not only for me and my family, but also for a lot of my clients. And the way I use this system and think about it is that it's momentum fuel. For most of us in our busy lifestyles, it's really hard to, set and sustain new lifestyle habits. That's why most lifestyle habits fail, because like our lives are just crazy today, right? And so this system gives you momentum. And once you start feeling better, once you start seeing results, right? Like inches off your waist, losing weight, feeling better in your clothes, having more energy, like you automatically start making better health choices, because most of us know what we need to do, right? You don't need me to tell you that moving your body is good for you. You don't need me to tell you that eating more greens is good for you, right? You know all that. We all know all that. We just need momentum, right? So sorry, I'm like ignoring the comments, but for now it's still my mom and my mother-in-law talking, so that's okay. Post a photo of your lentil soup. I will. So when I have it for dinner tomorrow, I will post it. But essentially the system that we're going to be using is 2 products. And if you follow me on social media, you know that there's really 2 systems I love. And this is one of those systems. And it makes fasting easy, and it optimizes metabolic health and gut health, and is just like anything I haven't seen before, honestly, in terms of like the results it gives people. So essentially 2 products. The first is yerba mate tea, right? Think about all the benefits you get from green tea and chocolate, the antioxidants, the polyphenols. You get that from the yerba mate tea as well, except this is concentrated. So you get much more of the benefits. It's a purified extract, so you're not going to be getting any of the crap that you get in kind of conventional teas and things like that, like pesticides and PAHs and heavy metals. You don't have to worry about all of that. So that's why I love this company. And then you're also going to get a tea that has actually been shown to naturally support our GLP-1 hormone. So that is a buzzword these days. GLP-1 is basically a hormone that we all make in our body that, helps us stay full. It kind of shuts down our appetite center in the brain. And so what this does, a lot of people will tell you, is like it takes the food noise away. It makes the food cravings go away. And so I drink it first thing in the morning, helps me with I only fast for 12 hours because I'm plant-based. I'm not trying to lose weight. My metabolic health is great. Some people will fast longer, and it makes fasting easier. So it gets rid of that hunger, the hunger pains, the food noise. And it makes fasting easier, and it more efficiently burns fat for fuel. So it makes you what we call metabolically flexible. So most of us burn sugar, right? When we're eating food, most of us are breaking that down into sugar, and our body's using that for fuel. And most of us are just eating too much all the time, mostly the wrong food. And that's why we develop something called insulin resistance, which I'm not going to go into details for that, but this is going to help you burn fat. So all that stuff that's stored around your belly, inside, around your organs, this is going to help you burn the fat. And it tastes great. It tastes like lemon tea. So that's the first product. The second product that we're going to be using is a fiber matrix. So this is got 7 different types of soluble and insoluble fibers. I talked about that at the beginning, right? That there's different types of fibers and different kinds of fibers, and they do different things. Well, this is kind of, I like to think of it as an all-in-one solution. It's not a replacement for eating healthy plants, but it's think about it as synergy, right? So it's giving you what a lot of your food doesn't have. So 7 different types of soluble and insoluble fibers. And also it's a vitamin and mineral blend. So I think of it like my multivitamin, but with fiber. And you take it before your biggest meal of the day. And what that does is it kind of creates a gel in your stomach. And most of us, our biggest meal of the day is usually later in the day. It's dinner. And our metabolism is slowest at night, right? So what this does is it creates a gel in your stomach, right? And one of these days I'll do I'll pour it out so you can see what it looks like. But basically it creates a gel in your stomach and it kind of traps everything. So it slows down the digestive process. It keeps you full, kind of helps regulate your cholesterol, your blood sugar, all of that. And so this is really great, not just for your gut health because of all the different types of fibers, but also for your metabolic health. And my husband and I actually did this program with this fiber supplement 10 years ago. I made a post about it yesterday. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. You got a lot of love. That was the first time I've shared, the story and the pictures from it. So anyways, it was crazy, the results that we got. After 90 days, my husband lost 24 pounds, reversed his high blood pressure, cholesterol, and prediabetes, and lost inches off his waist. I lost 12 pounds and I think 4 or 5 inches off my waist. And so it's kind of been a part of our life ever since then. I think of it like a lifestyle, momentum, fuel, and sidekick, really. So Lily said, where do we sign up? Where do we sign up for the challenge? Okay. So if you're interested, you can comment, not right now, but just comment challenge in this. Oh gosh, but I said comment lentil for the recipe. So if you're interested, just DM me challenge. So send me a message and say challenge, okay? And if you say challenge, I will send you all the information. I'll send you what's included, everything you get for free, and then I'll also send you the discount link so that you can get your kit, your 1-month kit, which comes out to, if you're in the US, about $5 a day. If you're in Canada, about $6 a day. But you don't have to be in Canada or the US. You can be anywhere in the world because this company actually ships to 60 different countries in the world. So you can join me from anywhere and I would love to have you, right? So that's all I have for you today. It is now 1:35. I'm really trying to keep these under 30 minutes. So if you want the recipe for the lentil soup that I just made, comment lentil on this post. Once I post it on Instagram, I will send you the recipe. And if you want to know more about the challenge, send me a message, a direct message, either in Facebook or on Instagram, and comment challenge, and I'll send you all the details. Lily, send me a message now so that I don't forget about you, and I will send you all of the details. Alrighty. Louise, my sister Meadow lost 15 pounds. Yeah, I mean, the system is incredible. And my mom lost about 40 plus pounds in 8 months. Absolutely remarkable, because with weight loss, it's not just about weight. Remember, when we have fat stored in all the wrong places, that is ultimately what leads to our body becoming resistant to a very important hormone called insulin, which helps our body use and store energy, right? And so when we become insulin resistant, that's when we start getting high cholesterol and high blood pressure and prediabetes and diabetes. And then down the road, again, like I said, that leads to the massive heart attack and heart disease and kidney disease and brain disease and all the things. So being proactive is the best investment that you can make for your quality of life, not just today, not just in 6 months, but decades from now. And remember, what you do today is going to reflect 20, 30 years from now. So start today. It's not too late. You got this. You're worth the investment. And I would love to have you in the challenge. And now I'm going to say bye. Bye, guys. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you.